Hello, dear children. Yesterday we had completed about the internal structure of the human heart. That's the associated the blood vessels as well as the different valves in it. And we saw the atrial and the ventricular systole as well as the diastole. Now here today we are going to focus on the circulation of the blood in the heart, then what's the pacemaker, then the heartbeat and the pulse. Now first let us start that how the circulation of the blood is taking place. Let us begin with that. Okay, now first the process is, before that, like in your previous classes also you must have learned few things about it. Now this is a structure of the heart. Now pulmonary vein which is there, okay, pulmonary vein, it is bringing the oxygenated blood which is getting into the left, we can say that it is getting into the left atrium. Okay, so you can see here that it's not mentioned in the text, but for your understanding let me start with the first procedure. So first we will see that the pulmonary vein is bringing the oxygenated blood and it gets into the left atrium. Okay, and in the right atrium which is there, from in the right atrium we will be getting the deoxygenated blood which will be left from the superior, that's the anterior vena cava, and the posterior vena cava or the inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava and inferior vena cava will be giving the deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. This will be collected from the upper regions of the heart, this from the lower regions of the heart, getting into the right atrium. Okay, and at the same time we can say that the oxygenated blood which is shown by the red color, it is getting into the left atrium. So first process, it starts with the contraction of the two atriums, two auricles. Okay, then the ventricles at this time, the two ventricles, that's the right ventricle and the left ventricle, they are in a relaxed stage. Okay, so soon what happens, first as I told you, the oxygenated blood entered here, oxygenated blood entered here. Next the ventricles will contract. Okay, after the ventricles contract, the atria will relax. Okay, they will be no they will be letting the blood into the ventricles and they will relax. So the blood from the ventricles, now what happens is, as soon as the atria has from the auricles the blood has entered the ventricles, they start moving upwards, they start moving upwards. So when they are moving upwards, the tricuspid valve and the bicuspid valve, the tricuspid valve and the bicuspid valve, what happens to them, uh, they I mean, what will happen, from the ventricle the blood will try to enter into the auricle, but these two valves which are there, okay, these two valves get tightened, they'll be tightened and they'll be puffed. Okay, puff means like puffing means just we can say fula hua, right? They start, these two will be coming into action, they will be getting tightened and they will be closing the passage of the blood, and therefore the blood will not return back into the atrium. So these two valves will be closing it and the blood will be entering only in the ventricle, and from the ventricle it can't enter into the auricles. Then the next procedure we can say is that afterwards we can say that the chordae tendineae, okay, the chordae tendineae which holds the flap in the position prevents the overturning of the blood into this atria. Okay, so just like a parachute, it holds it very tightly. If you see, it has hold tightly and the flaps are also closed over here. Now the only course, now the inside the right ventricle, the oxygenated blood has entered, and inside the left ventricle the oxygenated blood has entered. Now the only place where they will go, the only place left with them is, now if you see, this is the uh, this is the right ventricle, right? Now only place left for the right ventricle is to go towards the pulmonary artery. Can you see, the only place left is go to the pulmonary artery. So what happens, these pockets which are there, if you see these pockets, semiluna valves, this is the pulmonic, we can say that this is the pulmonic valve. Okay, or we can yeah, we can call it as a pulmonic valve only. So now what happens, this pulmonic valve will open and the blood will be let into the pulmonary artery. Okay, so when the blood is let into the pulmonary artery, from the pulmonary artery where will it go, it will be going to the lungs for the purification. So it is going pulmonary artery to the left lung, so it will go to the left lung for the purification. At the same time, the left ventricle also does not have any place to go, so where will it go, it will be going where, it will be going to the aorta. So can you see here, this particular thing is a semilunar valve of the aorta. Can you see the semilunar? So from here, left ventricle, it will be going to the aorta. And aorta, what will it do? It will be going towards the different parts of the body to give the blood. So the mouths of the pocket-like valves, which are at the base of the two blood vessels, can you see? At the pulmonary arteries base and the aortic arteries base, these two valves are present, semilunar valves are present. So these will open up, therefore the blood will be leaving into the ventricle and pressing the valves flat and getting the passage into it. Okay, now what will happen? Now the ventricles are dilated. Okay, the blood has entered the pulmonary artery and the aorta. Now these are empty. Again, what will happen? These two passages will close down. These two passages close. Again, from the auricles the blood is filled, and again the auricle will enter the ventricles. Ventricles will be sending it to this aorta and pulmonary artery. Once again I will explain you what happens. First, the blood will be entering from the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and from the pulmonary vein. Now there is inside the right atrium deoxygenated blood, right ventricle oxygenated blood. Then these two valves will open up and they will be getting into the ventricles. As soon as they get into ventricle, these flaps which are there, they become puffed and they close the passage of returning back. Then afterwards what happens? Now the ventricles don't have any way to go, the blood in the ventricles don't have any way to go. So what happens? They push these flaps and these flaps open, these flat flaps open, pocket like valves, which is the first one is the pulmonic valve and this is the aortic valve. So blood will be getting into the pulmonary artery, it will be getting into aorta, and then these flaps also close for the return of the blood back. Again aorta auricles fill the ventricles, ventricles go out. So this is a complete process which is going on. Then from this only, that when we can say that when the lub and the dub sound is produced, that also I will explain you. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now let us see the steps of heartbeat. Okay, what happens when the ventricles dilate? The blood from the pulmonary artery and aorta tends to return, and then the blood fills the pocket of valves and closes the passage. So as I told you, when it is going into the pulmonary artery and the aorta, the flaps are closed and the returning back of the blood is stopped. Let's go to the heartbeat. Now steps of heartbeat, cardiac cycle. Each heartbeat has two steps. Okay, the atria contract first, followed by the contraction of the ventricle. So atria contracts, and then afterwards the ventricle contracts. So when the atria contract, the contraction phase is called systole and the relaxing phase is called expansion phase or diastole. So contraction phase systole, relaxation phase diastole. Now at the end, so you can say that the systole of auricles is 0.15 seconds, the systole of ventricle is 0.30 seconds, and all chambers in relaxed state are 0.40 seconds. So at the end of ventricle systole, the ventricles start relaxing. So after the ventricles contract, that is called as the systole, they start relaxing, which is ventricular diastole. Meanwhile, the atria have been relaxed, so they are in the arterial diastole, and for a short period of time, both the atria and the ventricle are in relaxed state for a very short period of time. See, for 0.40 second. Okay, so that is called the joint diastole. So once again, I will tell you, ventricle systole. At the end of the ventricle systole, that is at the end of the expansion, now they will relax. So that relaxed state is what? Ventricular diastole. Then auricles have also been relaxing after they are giving the blood into the ventricles, they will relax. So they are also the atrial diastole. And then for a short period of time, both the auricles as well as the ventricles, they both are relaxing. So that is called as the joint diastole. That relaxing state is called joint diastole. Then the heart, which is there, it is producing a sound of lub and dub. So let us see how that sound is produced. So when if you have a when next time when you go to your doctors and when you check the heartbeat, you will hear a sound that's a lub and dub sound, right? So you can also check if your parents, some of the you must be having your parents, so you just check the heartbeat of someone, you will hear a lub and dub sound. So from where is this lub and dub sound produced? This lub and dub sound which is there, it is produced because of the closing of the valves, closing of the flaps of the valves. So let us see. The first sound lub which is there, that's produced with atrioventricular, that's tricuspid and bicuspid valves get closed sharply at the start of ventricle systole. So ventricle systole, when this ventricle systole will be taking place, when the auricles have been in a relaxed state and the ventricles are in the expansion state, that's the ventricle systole. So when the flaps, when the bicuspid and the tricuspid flaps or the valves are closed, there's a sound called as lub, when at the start of the ventricular systole. Okay, then the second sound is the dub, which is produced at the beginning of the ventricular diastole. Okay, when will the ventricular diastole take place? When the ventricles are in the relaxed state and the blood is entering the pulmonary valve, blood is entering the pulmonary artery through the pulmonary valve and into the aorta by the aortic valve. That time, so the semilunar valves and the roots of aorta and pulmonary are closed. That time the dub sound is produced. So just we will see in the diagram also. So from the auricles, it has entered the ventricles. That time a sound is produced, that's lub. So lub sound will be produced when at the start of the ventricular diastole. Okay, at the start of the at the start of the ventricular systole. Okay, ventricular systole, that's the expansion state. Then when the blood is entering the pulmonary artery and the aorta from the pulmonic valve and the aortic valve, a dub sound is produced, right? When these flaps are, blood has entered, the flaps will close, so there will be a dub sound produced, that is at the end of the ventricular diastole, at the beginning of we can say at the beginning of the ventricular diastole. So relaxing state, ventricular when we are saying the relaxing state, that is ventricular diastole, expanding state, that is ventricular systole of the ventricles. So I hope it's clear what you mean by lub and dub. Lub sound, tricuspid bicuspid valve will be closed, auricles will be empty, ventricles will be filled, so ventricles will be expanding, so ventricular systole. Okay, then at the second time, the second sound dub, semilunar valves are closed. Okay, beginning of the semilunar valves are closed, ventricles are kind of, we can say they are also in the relaxing state. Okay, and that's the beginning of the ventricular diastole, that's the relaxing state. Now the rate of heartbeat which is there, it varies from different species, even in the individual of same species. So there are some variations, that is whale is 15, elephant 25, horse 40, adult men 64 to 72, women 72 to 80, cat 120, newborn infant 140, rat 250, and sparrow 800 to 900. So if you see, the smaller the creature, its heartbeat is more. Like when the infants, if I mean when a pregnant woman is going for her sonography, for her ultrasonography, and when they check the heartbeat of that infant, it is about 140 beats per minute. Okay, it's beating so high. So why is this so? So if you find the relation, the smaller the size, faster the heart rate. Why? Because the smaller animal which is there, it will be the smaller the animal, the more it loses body heat due to high surface volume ratio, and therefore the increased heart rate distributes the body heat faster. Okay, so because of the increased body heat, the increased heart rate, the body heat will be distributed faster. Secondly, the young growing stages such as human baby have higher metabolism for the body, and therefore faster heartbeat keeps the supply and takeoff of the metabolic substances in right quantities. That means the processes of metabolism, like the growth is much faster than the digestion. The growth is faster, the digestion is faster, many processes in the body are faster. That's why the younger children will be having a very high heartbeat. Okay, so this is all about what is the heartbeat, or what is the heart rate. Then the next thing, which is called as the pacemaker. Now what is actually this pacemaker? So we can say that the impulse or the command which starts the heartbeat, so from where the heartbeat is starting, that's the sinoatrial node, which is located where in the walls of the right auricle. Okay, and this impulse is then relayed to the ventricles with a special conducting fiber. So the starting of the pulse, that means the starting of the command. Okay, just we can say that the starting of the heartbeat which is there, it starts with the pacemaker, where from the atrial node. So sinoatrial node, where is it located? This, if you can see, the sinoatrial node is located near the right auricle, near the right atrium, near the walls of the right atrium. And then the impulse is laid with this, you can see the yellow colored fibers called the Purkinje fibers, which we will be seeing in details now. Now the pacemaker or the sinoatrial node is present. Okay, where is it present? It is present near the superior vena cava. So you can see here that's the SVC, that is the superior vena cava. So it is located near the superior vena cava, while the AVN, which is the atrioventricular node, which is here. Can you see the atrioventricular node? That is located near the interauricular septum. Interauricular septum, the left and the right region is separated by the septum. So in between over here near the interauricular septum, near the tricuspid valve. So this AVN is located near the tricuspid valve, and SAN is located at the right auricle near the superior vena cava. Now if you see the atrio, that means sinoatrial node is what? The pacemaker. So from there the impulse or the command of the heartbeat starts. Okay, that's called as the pacemaker. Now here it's found near, we can say that that is the the interauricular septum is near the tricuspid valve. So here a bundle of muscle fibers, you can see the bundle of muscle fibers, which are called as the bundle of His, begins from the AVN. So these fibers are bringing starting from the AVN, and then it extends to the interventricular septum. So it starts from the interauricular septum, and then it comes towards the interventricular septum. So this bundle of His, which is there, it contains a special fibers which are along the walls of the ventricles. Okay, along the walls of the ventricles, which is called as the Purkinje fibers. Now all these are together creating an impulse and conducting it to every part of the heart. They are conducting the impulses to every part of the heart. So once again we will see, pacemaker means what? Pacemaker is called as from where the heartbeat starts. We had seen heartbeat, what it is, the step of heartbeat or the cardiac cycle, right? And we had understood that there is a contraction phase, there is an expansion phase, systole, diastole, right? Now here we can see that the particular sign starts from the sinoatrial node. Sinoatrial node is located in the right atrium near the superior vena cava, and then the atrioventricular node AVN is located where? Near the interventricular septum. Okay, it's sorry, no, near the interauricular septum near the tricuspid valve. Okay, then it has a bundle of fibers called as the bundle of His, which begins from the AVN, and it will be extending to the interventricular septum. Okay, the bundle of His which is there, it contains Purkinje fibers or Purkinje fibers, and this together forms a network of fiber near the ventricles and conducts the impulses to every part of the heart. Now, sometimes what happens, the pacemaker becomes faulty and causes heart trouble. So then an artificial pacemaker may be fixed in the heart of such person. Now, pacemaker is the starting of the heartbeat. So sometimes there are some problems in those persons. So artificial pacemaker is given. Now, this artificial pacemaker operation, it takes up to about 2 hours, and a person is also discharged after 24 hours. Mainly this pacemaker is required for a person who is 60 and above or 70 and above. Then secondly, if a person has a pacemaker in the heart, he has to avoid the use of cell phones. Then there can be normal problems to him like a chest pain or dizziness. And secondly, these pacemakers can survive up to 7 to 8 years. After that, it needs to be changed. Then another thing about pacemaker is, we can say that, mm, artificial pacemaker is fixed in the heart of that person, and he can live with that particular pacemaker also for few years. Okay, but it is kind of a risky thing also, and a person can suffer from heart attack also if he has a pacemaker. That doesn't mean that pacemaker is there means everything will be smooth. No, nothing like that. He can suffer from a heart attack also. So this is the use of a pacemaker in the heart. I hope it is clear to you, pacemaker, what is the meaning of it. Okay, fine. Then let us go to the blood vessels which are there. So blood vessels are branching tubes which are extending from the heart to all parts. I'll be going fast because blood vessels you have already learnt in your sixth you have learned, you have also seen in eighth. So I'll just take a review quickly. Artery is a vessel which carries which type of blood? Blood away from the heart towards the any organ. So artery is a vessel which carries the blood from the heart towards any organ. So characteristic is it has a thick muscular walls, a narrow lumen. So you can say that structure of artery is like this. It has a narrow lumen. Lumen is a central bore, Then blood in it flows in spurts. Spurts means slowly it will be flowing, which corresponds to ventricular contractions of the heart. Slowly, by taking breaks, it will be flowing. That is called spurts. Then vein is a vessel which carries the blood away from an organ towards the heart. It has a thin muscular wall, a wider lumen, and the blood in it flows uniformly. Secondly, the valves. There are valves present in the veins. It contains thin shaped pocket valves whose openings face in direction of the heart. These valves prevent the backflow of the blood. Smallest or fine branch of artery is called arteriole. Arterioles are muscular and can change their diameter manifold, and the arteriole break up into capillaries. Capillaries is a very narrow tube, about 8 microns. The arteries and veins are joined by the capillaries. Then it will be consisting a single layer of squamous epithelium, that is endothelium. They have no muscles, and the total number of blood capillaries present in the whole body is almost inconceivable. We don't know how many are present. Okay, and these are, we can say that, the points joining the arteries and veins. Then there is a structure of the capillary, how it is. This is the arterial capillaries, venous capillary, this is venule, arteriole. This is the endothelium, the capillary is covered with it, the diagrammatic relationship of artery capillaries. If all the blood capillaries of the body were placed in a row, okay, then it would cover so many 100,000 kilometers. So their total wall surface would be more than 500 square meters. Okay, so we'll stop this much, and tomorrow we will be seeing the functions of arteries, veins, and capillaries. So I hope you are clear. What we have done is we did how the circulation of the blood takes place. Then we saw what is heartbeat, what's the heart sound, what's a pacemaker, and also the blood vessels. So thank you, my dear children, and take care.